every recruiting cycle has its seasons, right? There's commitment season, which starts in the spring and generally runs through the summer. Then there's decommitment season, which gets going in October and runs through November. And then there's flip season, which is really the 2-week window from the start of December until the early signing period. And of course, these are unofficial season delineations, just some trends that I've kind of noticed through the years. But we're about to hit that final stage in the recruiting cycle, flip season. So in this video, we're going to take a look back at some of the most memorable decommitments and flips so far in the cycle. But first, guys, do me a favor, hit subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We're only 2 months old and we're over 20K. I appreciate it. If you're not on board yet, hit subscribe. Okay, let's take a look at some of the most memorable ones. And let's start with 5-star quarterback Dylan Raiola from the state of Arizona, committed to Ohio State in May of 2022, remained committed for nearly 6 months before reopening his recruitment. And once he did, it was all Georgia. Now, of course, Nebraska and USC, they were involved heavily at times, but almost a year to the day of his original commitment, Raiola made it official to Georgia in May of 2023. And since then, it's been a wrap. He transferred from Arizona to Georgia. He's the quarterback at Buford High School. He's a vocal leader for that Dogs 2024 recruiting class. And he is locked in. I fully expect him to sign on National Signing Day, but that was a memorable one. All right. Next up is Armando Blunt. You guys remember that famous flip to Florida State. It's recent and it's memorable, and you guys know what I'm talking about. 2 weeks ago, heading into the weekend, okay, ready, follow this. Armando Blunt was the 4th best player in the 2025 class, committed to the Miami Hurricanes. Goes up to Tallahassee for the FSU Duke game, and by Sunday, he's committed to FSU and reclassified to the 2024 class. So not only that, not only the flip, but he announces he's going to be an early enrollee and join FSU in January. What a wild recruitment that has to be for not only FSU fans, but also Miami fans. I mean, they think that they have one of the top players in the 2025 class committed early. He's going to be a pillar of that class. All of a sudden, he flips to FSU, position in need, and he reclassifies. All right, the next one might be the biggest out-of-nowhere surprise. This award goes to the stealth move that LSU pulled on Texas A&M. Around the same time that wide receiver Draylon Miller publicly reopened his recruitment and decommitted from Texas A&M, and 5-star Aggie commit Terry Bussey took an official visit to LSU. Like, we thought at that point that was the big news of the weekend, but we didn't know what was transpiring under the surface. And that's when, at the end of October, On3 5-star offensive tackle Weston Davis announced his flip from Texas A&M to LSU. And you know what? Will it be the last of the Aggie flips to LSU? Let me know. Comment section below. Can LSU flip Gabriel Relaford, Terry Bussey? What about Dominic McKinley, the 5-star defensive lineman? If possible, do you think they're going to do it? Let me know. Comment section below. Let's go to FSU again. They're next on the list. A month prior to Raiola committing to Georgia, the defending back-to-back national champs lost one of their top commitments to the Florida State Seminoles. And that was when Landon Thomas, the number 54 ranked player overall, so borderline 5-star, flipped his commitment from Georgia to FSU. A big statement win in the state of Georgia for Mike Norvell. And maybe, just maybe, this success laid the groundwork in FSU beating Georgia for KJ Bolden. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm just connecting the dots. But regardless, it was a big win for FSU in the flip of Landon Thomas. All right, Auburn's flip. Now, Auburn had a twofer in 1 week. They flipped Perry Thompson and DeMarcus Riddick. Thompson, a high 4-star wide receiver, committed to Alabama, and Riddick, a 5-star linebacker, committed to Georgia. This clearly is not Brian Harson's Auburn. There is a new sheriff in town, and his name is Hugh Freeze, putting his rivals on notice, at least on the recruiting trail. But seriously, though, this was a huge win for Auburn, and they were able to pull this off within days of each other back in July. It was a busy July for the Tigers, who are now sitting just outside the top 15, but they have even more flip targets on board. Auburn fans, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know. Comment section below. Is Auburn going to have any more big flips between now and National Signing Day? Just tell me, what do you think the biggest decommit or flip was so far in 2024? Because we're hitting peak recruiting months. I told you, we're coming out of decommitment season into flip season, and it was a good time to go look back at some of the action from earlier. But tell me, who do you think will be the next big name that could flip? Who do you think? I got a few that I could think of, right? You got Jeremiah Smith. Will he stick to Ohio State? Cam Coleman, 5-star wide receiver, committed to Texas A&M. Is that going to stick? UF commit Jamonte Waller. He's visited Auburn a couple times. What about Charles Lester? His recent trips to Gainesville. There's also rumors that Texas could flip DeAndre Carter, Auburn's prized O-line commitment. Give me your thoughts. Let me know potential big flips. What do you think we're going to see down the stretch? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that content, be sure to subscribe to the On3 Recruits channel. We have a new page dedicated only to recruiting. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now.